Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the El Nino and the La Nina effect. So now let us look at the timeline of the video. First we will be looking at what is the news, then about the normal conditions or the normal weather or the climatic conditions, then about what is El Nino effect, and then the effects of El Nino all over the world, then about the La Nina effect, and then the effects of La Nina all over the world, and then in the end we will be looking into a prelims MCQ and a mains practice question. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 1 Geography. See, from prelims point you should be able to know that what is El Nino and what is the relationship of El Nino with India, and same is with La Nina. And from mains perspective you should be knowing about the mechanism of both El Nino and La Nina. So now let us look at the news, and this news has been taken from the Indian Express, and it says triple dip, La Nina and its impact on India's monsoon. So important point here becomes, first we should be able to know that what is La Nina and then what is its impact on India's monsoon. This is the point which comes in exam, that what is the impact of El Nino and La Nina on India's monsoon. So first let us look at that why the concept of El Nino and La Nina is in news. So the Australian Bureau of Meteorology has said that the occurrence of La Nina phenomenon for the third consecutive year in the Pacific Ocean. So the concept of El Nino and La Nina takes place in the Pacific Ocean. So what has happened is, for the first time in this quarter, that the La Nina was observed in September 2020, and for 3 consecutive years we have seen that La Nina has been observed, that is in September 2020, then in 2021, and then again in 2022. So for 3 consecutive years the concept or the phenomenon of La Nina has been observed. Then according to the World Meteorological Organization, that is WMO, oceanic and atmospheric phenomena would last at the end of the year. So it is expected that by the end of 2022 La Nina concept would take place and would occur. Now the most recent La Nina began in September 2020, then it was for 2020, 2021 and 2022. So for 3 consecutive years the World Meteorological Organization and Australia Bureau of Meteorology has observed that for 3 consecutive years the concept or the phenomena of La Nina has occurred. And it is exceptional to have 3 consecutive years with a La Nina event. And since the 1950s, La Nina lasting for more than 2 years has been recorded only on 6 instances. So La Nina occurring for more than 2 years has been observed only on 6 instances. So it is not a normal phenomena that this takes place almost every single year or 1 year after it or every alternate years. No, it does not happen like that. So La Nina occurring for 3 consecutive years has become a pretty much unusual phenomena. So now let us understand about the concepts. First we will be looking at about the normal conditions which prevails in the Pacific Ocean, then we will be looking about that what is El Nino, and then about the La Nina. So now let us first look at this map. Okay, the concept of El Nino and La Nina occurs in the Pacific Ocean, specifically to Pacific Ocean. So this is the Pacific Ocean. Okay, and this is equator. This is South America, and this is the coastline of Peru, and this is Australia. Okay, so what happens is, okay, this is South America and this is Peru. So what happens in Peru, there is a ocean current named Peruvian current. Peruvian current is a cold current because it is coming in this direction, from poles direction to the equator direction, and it brings the cold water with it. That is why it is called a cold current. So Peruvian current is a cold current. This also becomes an important prelims point, that whether Peruvian current is a cold current or a warm current. Then Peruvian current is a cold current. So what happens is, when Peruvian current comes to the coastline of Peru, it brings cold water with it. So what happens when cold water comes in this direction on the coastline of Peru, then what happens? The temperature becomes low. So when the temperature becomes low, the pressure of the region becomes high. So there is this high pressure created on the coastline of Peru, this region. I'll again show you. Okay. See this region. So there is high pressure there, because the temperature is low, and the temperature is low because of the Peruvian current. So when the high pressure is created there, then there is low pressure in the Australian region. Okay, let me just tell you that this is the eastern part and this Australia region is the western part. Okay, so there is tendency of winds to move from high pressure to low pressure, and there is equator, and equator have trade winds in them. So the wind flows from high pressure area to low pressure area. That means from the direction of South America, the wind is flowing towards Australia. So when the wind is flowing towards Australia, or when the wind is flowing from eastern region to the western region, then the water also moves in this direction. So when the water also moves from South America to the Australian region, like this is the direction in which it moves. So when the water comes from this direction to the Australian direction, then what happens? Then what happens is that there are unstable conditions, because the water is constantly coming into this region. When there is unstable condition, then convection takes place, and when convection takes place, there is formation of clouds which take place, and formation of clouds leads to what? It leads to rainfall. This is what is normal climatic conditions. Okay. Now let's see. See, there is low pressure in the Australia and Indonesia region, which I have told you is this region, Australia region, which has low pressure. Then there is high pressure in the Peru region. Then this is the South America continent, and this is the Peru region which has high pressure. So wind and water moves from high pressure to low pressure, that is from South America to Australia. Then you see trade winds moves from the direction of east to west, that is from continent of South America, Peruvian coastline to Australia. Then trade wind carries warm surface water westward. So the water from this region comes to this region, that is from South America, it comes to Australia part. And see, are you getting my point? What happens is Peruvian current comes here, and Peruvian current is cold. So the upwelling of water takes place because the Peruvian current is coming from the poles side towards the equator, and it is cold. So the upwelling of water takes place, and when the upwelling of water takes place, what it becomes? It takes fishes, plankton, phytoplanktons with it also. That is why the Peru region is called good for fishing, good fishing region. Then what happens is when the Peruvian cold current is coming to this side, then already the water which is present on this side has started to move on the Australian side. So the water, the warm water which is already present before the Peruvian current comes to this side. Then Peru cold water wells up to the surface. We are talking about the Peruvian current which comes to the Peru coastline to replace the warm water that is pulled to the west. So this is the normal conditions in the Pacific Ocean. If you are getting these conditions, then only you will be able to understand the concept of El Nino and La Nina. So now let us move to the concept of El Nino. And the El Nino is almost exact opposite of the normal conditions. In the normal conditions, that where there was high pressure becomes low pressure, and where there was low pressure becomes the high pressure. So what happens is air pressure drops in the Central Pacific and the South America. Okay, so see, so in El Nino, what happens is the higher pressure which was present in the South American continent now becomes the low pressure area. So the low pressure created here, while in the normal conditions what was there? There was high pressure, and the Australian region which was low pressure now becomes comparatively a high pressure. Now what happens is that the normal low pressure is replaced by weak high in the Western Pacific. Then there is change in pressure pattern, that is trade winds to be reduced, and there was creation of reverse Volcker cell. So one point that you need to remember is creation of reverse Volcker cell takes place in which phenomena? Then that is El Nino. Okay, now let us look at this side. So now high pressure is created here, exact opposite of the normal conditions. High pressure is created here, low pressure is created here. So this time the winds and the water which is moving is in this direction, that is from Australia to South America. So what happens is, even if the Peruvian current, which is the cold current, comes to this side, but then also because the wind and the water is moving from Australian part to the South America part, so even, and the warm water is coming here, so even the Peruvian current is not able to make the region cold. Then as compared to the normal conditions, then the pressure here is low and the pressure here is high. So the water and the wind is moving in this direction. So what is happening? That water is coming in this direction. So this region, that is the South American region, is becoming now unstable. And when it becomes unstable, what happens? The formation of cloud will take place here because of the process of convection. When the formation of cloud will take place, then rainfall will take place. This is what is the phenomena of El Nino, exact opposite of the normal conditions. Okay, see this. The air pressure earlier, where there was high pressure in the region of South America, which became low, then there was low pressure is replaced by weak high in the Western Pacific, that is Australian region, where there was low pressure, now it became comparatively high pressure. Then there was change in pressure pattern. Earlier the water was moving from, see this, normal condition, the water was moving from South America to Australia, but in El Nino the water was moving from Australia to South America, opposite direction, and that is why the formation of reverse Volcker cell takes place. And reverse Volcker cell formation means the water is going in opposite direction, so there will be a cell will be formed which will be reverse Volcker. So this is what is the formation of reverse Volcker means. Then there is equatorial counter current to accumulate warm ocean water along the Peru and Ecuador. So the Peruvian current will be dealt with the equatorial counter current, which is the water which is coming from the Australia side, and this water which is coming on from the Australia side cuts off the upwelling of cold deep ocean water along Peru. So this is what happens. If you are able to understand the normal condition, then the El Nino condition is exact opposite of it. Now let us talk about the effects of El Nino, that what happens when El Nino occurs. Then it is devastating effect on marine life, that is Peru and Ecuador, and severe droughts takes place in Australia, Indonesia, India and Southern Africa. So the most important point out of this whole concept is that the relationship between India and El Nino is that in India, if there is El Nino taking place, then India will be suffering from droughts. Then heavy rainfall in California, Ecuador and the Gulf of Mexico. This second point is what you have to remember, that India's relationship with El Nino is that if there is a phenomena of El Nino taking place, then India will be suffering from what? India will be suffering from droughts. Now, okay, see this. In normal condition, Eastern Pacific, that is the coast of Peru and Ecuador, where cold ocean water comes, which is good for fishing, because the cold ocean water gets fishes, phytoplankton and all the nutrients from inside to the surface. Then in the Western Pacific, which is the Indonesia and the Australia part, warm ocean water comes and plenty of rain takes place. And in El Nino condition, then there is Eastern Pacific, which is the coast of Peru and Ecuador. What happens is warm ocean water comes and fishing industry takes a hit. Fishing industry does not happens because there is no Peruvian current and warm water is coming at that side. Then in the Western Pacific, what happens is in Indonesia and Australia, cold ocean water is there and then droughts takes place. Now let us come to the concept of La Nina. So what is La Nina? La Nina is called abnormal accumulation of cold water in the central and eastern Pacific. So when there is too much of cold water gets accumulated in the central and eastern Pacific, then the concept of La Nina happens. La Nina is majorly associated with when the monsoon becomes cold, that is La Nina, and the trade winds becomes extremely strong and there is buildup of cooler than normal waters in tropical Pacific. Okay, see this. This is the Pacific region. So what happens is, then there is very strong wind which is happening in this region, which is blowing in this region, extremely strong winds. The trade winds can become extremely strong, and then there is accumulation of cold water which takes place in the central and the eastern Pacific, and then the water flow takes place. This is the equator. The equator, from the equator, very strong trade winds will flow, and with it the water will also flow in the same direction from South America to Australia region. So La Nina is opposite of El Nino. See, there are normal conditions. Normal conditions opposite is El Nino, and El Nino and La Nina go in opposite directions. Now there will be lower than normal air pressure over the Western Pacific. See, from South America region, and this is the Australia region, and this is the equator. So extremely strong winds will be blowing from the equator region, and then from South American part, that is the eastern part, and this is the western part. The winds will be blowing from the high pressure region to the low pressure region, and this will be the high pressure region, that is same because of the Peruvian current. Then winds will be blowing from this region, and in the central Pacific, what is there? This is central Pacific. Accumulation of cold water is there in the central Pacific, because of which there is extremely cold winds which blows, and lower than normal air pressure over the Western Pacific. So what happens is, when the winds are blowing in this region, then the same concept is followed. Then this region becomes unstable, and rest all the process will be followed same and as usual as has happened earlier. Now let's talk about the effect of La Nina, that is heavy monsoon in India and Southeast Asia. So La Nina brings heavy rainfall and monsoon to India, while what was El Nino doing to India was droughts. These are 2 points which you need to remember from exam perspective is La Nina brings monsoon and rainfall to India, while El Nino brings droughts to India. Then there will be cool and wet winter weather in Southeast Africa, wet weather in Eastern Australia. Then there will be cold winter in Western Canada and Northwestern United States. then winter drought in the southern United States, and intense hurricanes and cyclones will also be followed. I'll just show you the map. Okay, see. This is, and where is India? This will be the Asian region. So this is where India will be. So what will be happening in La Nina is winds are coming from high pressure to low pressure area, and the winds will be very cold. So what will happen is there will be unstable condition and convection will take place. There will be clouds formation, rainfall will take place. Then what happens? If rainfall will take place, then what kind of the winds will be going to India from this region of Australia? There will be heavy winds, there will be cold winds, and these will be wet winds. So that is why even rainfall takes place in Indian part also. The concept is simple. It is just you have to realize that because of the Peruvian current which brings the cold water with it, what is happening. Now let's come to the prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section, and that is, consider the following statements. First statement says that El Nino is responsible for bringing rainfall and floods to India, and La Nina is responsible for bringing droughts to India. You people have to tell me the correct answer, and that is 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Now let's come to the mains practice question. This is a 10 marker question, and it says, what is El Nino and La Nina? So people have to explain both and then examine their effects on India's climate. And if you can draw, then draw 2 small maps of El Nino and La Nina. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.